Hey fellas, if you're new to chainsaw mills, I got a couple tips for you. One thing you're going to notice in this highly educational video is I have an insanely long bar on a pretty small log because I don't feel like putting the effort into putting on smaller rails, milling this log, putting bigger rails back on, and jumping on the 27, 28-inch log that I've got to cut after I do this one. So I'm going to deal with it. It shouldn't be a distraction. So let's just roll with it. And we'll pretend that it's a short bar, short rails, and I'm not lazy. Okay, one thing that'll help when you start is the first thing you're going to want to do when you go to start making your first cut is you're going to put your rail on straight and square, and you're going to try to dive into that log just like so. What can happen is when you go to push in, your rail can come up in the front and cause you to cut a little goofy. And then trying to straighten that back out in that piece of wood is pretty difficult. So what I figured out is I will come over here, and you see this crossbar? With this rail, I will line it up on the corner, and I will start my cut at an angle. And then once I'm in pretty decent where I don't have any of this movement, I'll start pouring the front of the bar into the cut, and that helps you get a nice flush, true start to the board that you're about to cut. So I'll rip through this, and then I'll stop at the end, and I'll show you a way that I figured out how to get out of the cut without diving off. And then, because once you dive off, you got to set your rail back up. You got to do another fresh cut to square it true. Excuse me. And nobody wants to do that. So let's go ahead and cut through this thing. Here's the second tip. The second tip will help you out more than the first tip. The first tip gets you started, but the second tip gets you out. And this is what I appreciated most when I self-learned it. Anyway, scratch that. When you're in your regular position, you're holding on to your handle, wherever you have it at, when my front rail starts to get to the edge, the end of the cut, I'll take my hand off and I'll put it back here on the back of the rail. This is to help hold the back of this unit on the lumber and not dive forward, because it will want to dive forward. And one way I avoid that is when I put my hand here, I will go ahead and I will pour my tip around just almost halfway out, and then I'll bring it back in, and that's when I'll rotate my base, my back, my butt, the power head end of the thing. I will go ahead and bring that out. I'll finish the cut, and then I'll just slide it right on out of there, and then your board doesn't do this. Because then the next board will go. And nobody wants that. And then you're like, damn, how did I do that? Why did I do that? Well, this is why. So I hope this helps some of you guys. If you're just starting, give that a try. I think you'll like it. And thank you for tuning in to today's educational broadcast from Timmy Television. Anyway, sorry. And wear you some eye protection. The reason why I got on the whole helmet rig is I was cutting earlier and a piece of wood chip flew in my eyeball. And that took me probably a good 35 minutes off task, getting said wood chip out of my eyeball. So cover your eyes up. If you got a bigger saw, cover your ears up. When you're older, you'll thank yourself. Thanks again. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got something from it. Keep cutting. Enjoy cutting. Hold what you got. Bye-bye.